My name is Amanda Reese, and I've lived in the neighborhood about 7 years. And I'm one of the artists and residents working with the Myrna Loy on the Rodney Street Is Creative Placemaking Project. And one of the projects that I've had the opportunity to collaborate on is the J.E. Allen Livery building facade transformation. The current structure was built in 1885 by Joseph E. Allen and replaced the original livery stable his uncle had built upon his former mining claim. The J.E. Allen Livery Building was a vital business for the Courthouse Square neighborhood. Government officials, county employees, residents of nearby boarding houses, and Rodney Street businessmen stabled their horses and leased carriages, providing a critical service in the 19th century. The building had upstairs lodging to house ostlers and stablemen. Even Joseph himself lived upstairs until he married in the mid-1890s. With the introduction of motorized automobiles, the need for livery stables dwindled, and in 1920, Lewis and Clark County purchased the building. It has served as the commissioner's garage ever since, where it now houses maintenance equipment, a welding shop, as well as courthouse and municipal storage. At one point, the building housed an extremely large bulldozer, and the entrance had to be enlarged to accommodate. Punched tin was eventually used to replace parts of the original facade when a new garage door was put back in. Another interesting feature of the building is the fallout shelter sign from the 1960s, due to the fortified nature of the basement. The ghost signs covering the building were painted during its time as a livery stable, and most are remarkably well preserved. For safety and security, the windows covering the building have been boarded up for as long as many of us can remember. Many folks in the neighborhood treasure the unique character and historical charm of the area, and this project served as a unique opportunity to transform this structure from a forgotten fixture into a hidden treasure for everyone to enjoy. Our plan started with painting the lower boarded up spaces from cream to the same color as the clay brick, as well as painting the doorways and trim to colors that are more historically accurate. That way, your eye could focus on the new art as well as the original parts of the building. Very quickly, I realized how much more of an undertaking this would be to properly prep the building for paint that would last. We uncovered an original beam that had been painted over and was very hot and very wet underneath, and several areas of the building where water had damaged and eroded the wooden door frames pretty badly. We were referred to Preserve Montana for their insight into historical preservation. They were able to give their professional opinion on how to best preserve the wooden beam and water-damaged areas, and what types of paint we should use. We sanded, scraped, sanded, and scraped some more, wanting to ensure that the old paint would not interfere with the new primer and color. We used an epoxy wood consolidant to preserve the charm and character of the original beam. For the artistic direction, I wanted to tell the story of the building's 150-year history. So many folks have asked me, "What is that building?" And I thought this was the perfect chance to explain this through design. The Livery Building houses a beautifully historic probate vault from the courthouse, and I was inspired to reimagine this as the building signage to help explain what purpose this building has served for the last 100 years. We added cut gold vinyl to the swirls for a special touch that I really enjoy. The garage door's digital painting was a commission based off of an original photograph of the building during its time as a livery stable. This photograph was provided courtesy of helenahistory.org. This graphic was printed as a large vinyl sticker that was installed to the garage door that would allow the door to open and close. We're still working out the kinks to ensure that this installation will be able to withstand all the seasonal elements it will face. The upper windows were the perfect chance to show off the Victorian wallpapers hidden inside the abandoned boarding rooms. These were printed on plastic sheets and affixed with screws. These new windows perfectly complement the colors of the outside of the building and give the public a glimpse into the insides of the building's history. Overall, the new art and paint job of the building give the structure's face a new lease on life. Neighbors have expressed great joy in seeing these updates take place, and community members feel even more pride in having this fixture as an historical staple of their neighborhood. We are excited to see more reactions from the community as they rediscover this building. Over 55 hours were personally put into restoring the face of the building, as well as over 56 hours of combined volunteer time. I was able to gain a deeper appreciation and understanding of this neighborhood that I love so much, and I'm so grateful for this opportunity. None of this would have been possible without the help of my amazing family and friends who stepped up to bring this vision to reality. Thanks to Kirk Johnson, Marsha Johnson, Cole Johnson, and Jeannie Warden. Hannah Yang, Colin Harwell, and Chelsea Cairns for their helping hands. Thanks to Mary Webb, Pam Attardo, and Ellen Baumler for their insight into the history and historic preservation of this building. And a huge thanks to Mac McCarley and Eric Griffin with Lewis and Clark County for being open to working with us to transform the facade of this building. I'd also like to thank Elena Johnson and Ashley Moon for inspiring me and for being my fellow artists in residence. Thanks to Rada Paint Co. for their paint donation, Science Now Helena for providing the graphics, and Charlie Carson for his installation help. Vigilante shuttles and tours also provided food and beverages for volunteers.